Greetings, folks. Thanks for watching. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do. If you want to hit the bell, you'll always get the notifications of when I have another video up. And if you like what you see and want to hit the thanks button to support the channel, that's always appreciated. Now, I'm going to start showing you some more vinyl finds of all kinds. Records that I've picked up recently have not yet shown. If I'm lucky and my memory is right, just about all of these will not have already been shown, because I don't keep a list. And sometimes it's a while between videos, and I don't know if I already showed a certain record or not. Well, I know I showed this record, but the reason that I'm going to show you this again is because when I showed it the last time, I forgot to show you the actual vinyl, which is, this is a 12-inch single of Billy Idol, White Wedding, a song that I really liked back in the day when I was club hopping in the 80s. And what's special about this is it's a colored vinyl. Now, you want to take a guess at what color the vinyl is? Anybody out there sharp enough to figure it out? I think you know it. White vinyl. Yeah, I didn't show this the first time. Forgot about it, that it was white vinyl. It's a white vinyl for a white wedding. And songs like that from the 80s bring back a lot of great memories and feelings. Is why I like to have them, why I like to collect them. Now, again, this is one I'm not sure if I showed yet or not, but there's no harm in doing it again. Not everybody sees every video. It's the first Elton John album. I think it's the first one, and on the Uni label, and it really, really is in great, great shape. You know, sometimes I think as nice as these outer sleeves are, you really be able to appreciate the quality more when it's out of the sleeve. I mean, look at that. Hard to find this in really nice shape. But this one's really pretty clean. And as I said, the Uni label, it's got the inner sleeve in it. This is one of my favorite labels. Uni. I love it. Very colorful. Alright. Alright, so next up. This is one again, not sure if this was covered already. And if it wasn't covered, well, then I really am proud to show this. Now, you know I've been trying to get into the Kinks more. I always liked the Kinks, but I'm just familiar with their big hits. I like a nice 2 CD set would cover everything for me. But I was kind of branching out a little bit more. And this one was not a cheap album. This was up there in price. And this was bought at a time recently where I had a few extra dollars. While I was still working before I retired, and it's the Village Green Preservation Society, and this is in really good shape also. Really good shape. I wasn't sure. I mean, it was kind of pricey, so I'm like thinking to myself, should I buy this? I don't even know this album. Heard a lot of good things about it, so I played a couple of tracks, and the first track, Village Green Preservation Society, and then a couple of others. I said, oh yeah, I like this. So I think I'll take the gamble. I'm going to talk a little bit more, I guess, as we go along about buying these kinds of albums and just adding a lot of stuff. In my case, in my collection, a lot of non-Beatles stuff I'm talking about here, and how I feel about that at this point. All right, the Rolling Stones. I'm trying to continue with the Rolling Stones. And there's a really nice copy of It's Only Rock and Roll in the shrink wrap. And hype stickers and Corvette stickers and all that kind of thing. This is really a nice copy of this album. All right. And the Rolling Stones. Now, I don't know how far I'm going to go with the Rolling Stones. I think I'm going to go up to Steel Wheels. And this is a nice copy of Steel Wheels in the shrink wrap. 1989. Not a very interesting cover, but it's in good shape. And the question is, am I going to go any farther than this? I don't think so. All right, next up we have a pretty good copy of this album by Badfinger. No Dice. And with these Badfinger albums, the situation is that I know their key songs, but I don't know a lot of their stuff. And I'm thinking, why not? They're an Apple band, of course. I don't collect everything on Apple Records just because the Beatles were on Apple Records. There are some people I know, they just collect all Apple artists, presumably because they have to do with the Beatles on Apple. I don't go there, But I don't know how much Badfinger I need, actually. I honestly don't. And that's what I'm talking about here, folks. It's like I go through these periods where it's like, man, I really want to get new stuff. I want to hear different stuff. And now that I'm retired, I'll be spending more time when I have the personal stuff out of the way that's going on right now to play a lot of this stuff and see if I really want it, you know? I go through periods where it's like, let's just buy almost anything, not just anything for the sake of buying it. Obviously, I'm not going to buy something I'm not interested in at all. There has to be a reason why. Like this, for example. I bought this because I love the Four Seasons, and this is all the songs of the Four Seasons, but they're done instrumentally by Bob Crew Orchestra. And I heard this too at my store. You know, a lot of times we can just put the records on and decide while the records are playing whether or not we actually want to go for it. This is on the Phillips label, you know, the one that Four Seasons were on. Now, here's an example of an album I really probably don't need at all. It's a Berlin album called Pleasure Victim. And why did I buy this? Well, because it reminds me of the days, I think this is the 80s, the early 80s. There was a hit song on here that was on a video on MTV called The Metro. And The Metro was a good song. And I liked that a lot. And I remember the video, liking the video too. And I'm like, do I really need a whole album of Berlin because I like the song The Metro? And when I get around to playing it, am I really going to want to keep it? Why even bother? I get through those moods. Hey, this is an honest channel. A lot of people, what they like about this is I'm honest. I tell it like it is. I don't mind looking embarrassing if I say, or looking embarrassed, I should say, if I tell you that there are times with an album like this that I really have no business buying it, and I do, and I regretted it later. I'll tell you if I regret it later. No problem. I'm starting to have buyer's remorse about a lot of these albums I've been showing, these non-Beatles albums that I buy just to buy them, and I spent too much back when I had the money to spend. Hey, I'm coming clean with you. Well, here's the other side of the coin. Here's an album I love. Almost every track on this album I've always loved. And I'm waiting for a copy in the shrink wrap, and here it is. Book of Dreams, Steve Miller Band. So many songs I love on here, like Threshold, Jet Airliner, Wintertime, Swingtown, True Fine Love, Jungle Love, The Stake. Most of the songs on here I love. This is one of my all-time favorite albums. So you could see buying this one, but is it necessary really to buy this one? You know, I go with the flow. Now, along those lines, let's continue the honesty and the openness. Sure, it's easy to try to save face and not tell everybody how you really feel about these things, but some people may remember several years ago, I went crazy. I found a whole collection by Cliff Richard and the Shadows, and I do like Cliff Richard and the Shadows, no doubt about that. And then, Hank Marvin, and I bought a whole collection, and then when I was a little tight for cash, I sold them again. But one of the albums that I just found that I've never had in that collection was this one, which is pretty interesting. Finders Keepers. Interesting looking cover. That's weird. I've never seen this one before with Cliff and the Shadows. This one was unusual, and it is a UK copy. You can see it's got the fold back edges there. And let's just look at the label. Yeah, so why would I get interested in something, buy all this collection of like 30, 40 albums, and then later on, this is nice in the sleeve, and then later on just sell them and then buy one more? I mean, this is not the time to buy this album after I've sold the other 3 dozen or whatever the heck it was, right? But hey, you go with the flow. As long as I'm happy in the moment, that's what I try to do. All right, a couple more we got here. This one I'm very anxious to listen to. Let me take the price tag off this one. I sometimes leave them on, sometimes I do not. I've got quite a collection right now of Johnny Cash. I really like Johnny Cash's voice. I like the guitar playing. And this one here is kind of different. But this is in such beautiful shape. Hymns by Johnny Cash on Columbia. And this is going to be kind of a spiritual album, but that's fine. I want to hear Johnny sing these. Very nice. The final album that I'm going to show you for this one is another one. Did I really need this? I don't know. Tom Hunyadi, if you're watching, I know he's going to think I need this. But it's Olivia Newton-John's greatest hits, you know. So, I mean, I like some Olivia Newton-John. Do I need this? I don't know. I know a lot of people are watching and they're thinking, what is with this guy? I'm just honest. I'm telling you, when I'm into it, I'm going to get it. Well, when I'm not into it, I'll probably pass. I'm going to be a little bit more careful, you know, a little bit more thrifty with certain albums that I buy in the future. But I go with the flow for the moment, and at least that entertains a lot of you as well, right? Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this installment of Vinyl Finds of All Kinds, and I'll be seeing you very soon, as you know.